What is up, everybody? Hello on this glorious Thursday evening. It is a glorious Thursday evening. I'm in Michigan and it's really hot outside, and I know a lot of people don't like crazy heat. I kind of dig crazy heat, so I'm kind of it's good times. I enjoy that. But before we really get cracking here, I do want to talk to the replay crew. Here's what tonight's gonna be about. I'm gonna be talking about the fact that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2003 figures from Super 7 are coming out. They've got new joints. They've got double jointed knees and elbows. And here's the thing. For the replay crew, are you going to pick them up? Are you at least curious to know what's going on? For me, Super 7 has been, whenever I've seen reviews online, they're really hit and miss when it comes to their quality control. So I'm curious about this, but at the same time, do I want to go in on it? I'm not sure, because what if, I mean, that's a pretty good chunk of change to spend. You throw 220 bucks at them after tax, that's, I don't know, in Michigan it's 6%. So whatever you got with there. So you're adding at least 12 bucks. Yeah, maybe another buck, $13, $14 tax with all that stuff. But yeah, I'm a little, I want to order them, but on the other hand, I don't want to spend that much money and have something show up where the QC isn't that great. So I think that's where I'm at, and that's pretty much going to be tonight's discussion. We're going to sit around and we're going to talk turtles. We're going to see what everybody's curious about, if anybody's curious about them at all, or if I'm alone here. If I just show those pictures and I'm sitting here just talking to myself and thinking, these are pretty rad, but do I do it? While others just sit there and kind of shake their head while I speak. It happens more often than you'd think it would. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring up the pics right now. And here we go. These are the Super 7 2003 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And there's a lot to like about the renders. I have to say, I'm pretty excited about what I'm seeing here. Now, something that I don't tend to do is dip my toe into anything animated or movie line, anything like that. I've actually only bought 5 figures for the channel specifically. Anything else I bought knowing that I'm going to be a fan of it, or at least thinking I'm going to be a fan of it. And those 5 figures are Lobo from DC Multiverse, which I was able to sell, so I'm good there. And then the 4 Mutant Mayhem Turtles from Playmates, which are movie figures. And I got those because I have plans for making it so kids can get into toy photography and all that stuff. So I'm good with having them here. I'm looking at these guys and I'm thinking, with Super 7, how hardcore they've been about the fact that they didn't want double jointed elbows and knees and all that stuff, how they felt it would ruin the design, or my thought is it's just pricier, so they didn't want to do it. But I don't know, man. My thought here is this is kind of a big deal when it comes to the toy world, when it comes to the fact that Super 7 is doing double knees and elbows, which is the reason I'm considering these. Now, I like 2003 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as much as the next person, but man, yeah, I don't know. I'm on the fence, but I feel like I shouldn't be on the fence. I feel like I should be thinking these need to get picked up, if for no other reason than the health of the channel, than something I can use as channel fodder. But I really think if the quality is there, I really think I would end up liking these. Here's kind of the big time marketing photo with everything that They wanted to show off. You're kind of seeing how they're crouching. You're seeing a little bit of how their hip articulation is going to work with Mikey and Leo there. You've got Don and Raph just hanging out in the back. You've got Don almost like just the way he's got the bow back there. You're seeing a little bit of double elbow going on there. And you've got Raph with the double elbow, and the side can go through his two fingers exactly how he usually does it, which is pretty sweet. I'm happy about that. Huh. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? Are you going to end up loading up on these? Now, here's Don, and Don is fortunate. He's got goggles. Now, the reason that that's a big deal is because Raph and Leo only have their weapons, extra hands, extra head. Don's got the added goggles. I'm guessing that's because of the bow. He only has one weapon. Now, I did forget something that cracks me up when it comes to the 2003 Turtles is how into their own colors they really are, because you've got the purple wrapping going on around the bow staff, which all the figures, all the characters in the show had their various color going around their weapons. So I totally forgot about that. I think it's kind of funny. Now, the reason really, let's look at Donnie here. Actually, let's go to the next picture. It shows Donnie doing stuff. So the reason that I'm looking at these and thinking, well, one, good Lord, I wish I'd been able to take the photos, because at least one of these hands should be flipped the other way. But something I'm really thinking is these would be good for figure photography just because of the double joints. Like, I'm honestly sitting there thinking that is something that should probably be done. Yeah, as far as photos are concerned, that is. This is a good looking layout, I think. And I'm looking right now. Yep, there is a bicep cut. So there is swivel. And Don, I think this picture is the only one that really shows how much elbow range there, or I'm sorry, not elbow range, but shoulder range there is. You can see that it's up there pretty much parallel to his shoulders. So he's going to be able to do the patented T pose that all turtles should be able to do. And then, I mean, the hip articulation looks good. Double knees and elbows. I wonder what's going on with the neck. I didn't pay much attention to the neck when I was going through these pictures. So let's see here. We got Leo. See, Leo doesn't have any kind of extra accessories aside from the turtle comm, which they all come with. But he's got everything he needs. That is one thing I'm noticing with the double joints here. Super7 definitely isn't throwing in as many accessories as they normally would. And for me, I'm always a big fan of extra hands. So I don't know. I'm not upset about this. The one thing maybe they could use is some kind of ninja hand, I guess, like almost a chopping hand or something. But aside from that, I think they pretty much got everything they need. So I'm not mad about it as I'm looking at Leo here. And there's his swords with the blue wrappings going around them. Exactly, because they all dig their own colors so much. And now here's our boy Leo. Another picture I wish I'd been able to shoot. But yeah, they're definitely making it work. I like, if we go back to Leo here, I like seeing just how much space, like how thin the armbands are, or the elbow pads are at the forearm, or like where his arms bend, in the front of the arm, basically. Because look at all that space you're going to have for these things to bend. That's a pretty good bend. I think what I'm really excited about here is it's going to force every other company that's making Turtles figures, it's going to force them to really start to reevaluate what they're doing as far as articulation and try and step up their game, as if Best Action hasn't done that already. So that's kind of exciting to me too. And then here's the guy that everyone should endeavor to be. This is Michelangelo. He's also known as the best turtle. And the things he got the most accessories, and at least the coolest accessories for sure, because he's got those extra spinning nunchaku or nunchucks. I don't know what's proper, but those are something that is a pretty sweet extra accessory. I sort of wish every other mic that's ever been released had those kinds of things. I think those are a good add-on. But yeah, I like the smiling head. I think, man, I'm stuck, guys. I am stuck because he looks really good. All these turtles look really good. Obviously, they're all on the same body mold. But if I spend this kind of money and they show up and the QC's not that great, I'm going to be really annoyed. So I don't know what to do because these are some of those figures that I'm fairly confident are going to sell out. It's going to be one of those things where they're going to be tough to get on the aftermarket and all that stuff. So yeah, I don't know what to do here. But that's a good shot. Whoever shot that, I'm like, oh, all right, we got something moving here. That's pretty cool. And I do like the way the nunchucks are sculpted on there too. It's not like this is just flat up here. They've got them all sculpted, going all the way around instead of, like I said, a flat spot here. I think that's really cool. And then we've got our boy Raphael. He's an angry guy. He definitely they definitely pulled off the anger with the man. So you got that going on. He's got his size. I don't know really what to say there. At this point, you're just looking at the individual weapons and you're just looking at the individual heads to see, I don't know, if you think those work. Because everything else, with the exception of the color of the figure itself, is pretty much the same. But that's a sweet shot. That's a sweet shot. I'd like to see, I want to see how much more the leg can get out in front of them. That would be something that would be very cool to check out. But I haven't seen that kind of thing. I don't know what's going on there. But that needs to be something that gets shown a little bit more. And of course, if you order from Super7, you get the extra head pack. And I have to say, I really like Mikey's head here. So if I do end up going and springing for these guys, is going to be from Super7, just so I can get the head pack because of Mikey's head. So yeah, I feel like I need to get these for the sake of the channel and for the sake of, this is almost a historical thing where Super7's concerned. And where kind of action figure photography is concerned, because that's what the double joints are doing. Suddenly, Super7 is making figures that I'm looking at and thinking, holy crap, it would be a lot of fun to shoot these things. Anywho, all right, let's get in here. We has the people. Let's see. Mario. Raph is my favorite character. Raph is rad. Raph is rad. And he's got this good look, too. He's always got the anger going on. That was something I saw in one of the Mad Hatter's reviews earlier today, or one of his videos when he was talking about this set. And he said the thing about Raph, all of his face sculpts are angry. And I think it's pretty cool, though. Let's see. Mr. McDysentery. Oh, yeah. Super7 breaking out the milk machine. We're all lining up like happy California cows. Murr, and stuff. Yeah. This is tough. This is tough. Hello there, Mario. And hey, man, thank you for stopping by. It's always nice to see everybody swinging by, seeing how things are going. It's very good stuff. But yeah, I don't know what to do, guy. Okay, so what's everybody in the chat? What are you thinking? What are you thinking about this set? Are you gonna pick it up? Are you thinking? Are you having the same concerns I'm having? Where getting it, they look good, they look like they'd be great for figure photography. The problem is the spotty QC that tends to happen with Super7. Yes. All right. Now, Mario, are you a Super 7 fan? Like, do you have a lot of Super 7 figures? Because I'm just curious what you think of the quality. Have they all come out pretty well for you? And my only concern is I've never gotten a Super 7 figure because every time I see reviews on them, it seems that people, like half the people are saying, yeah, it turned out pretty good. And the other half are sitting there saying, this doesn't look anything like the prototypes. And they're really loose and they're not great. Like the QC thing seems to be a real concern for a lot of people. And I'm just curious if the quality control on yours has been okay. Spaded one. What's the price? They look amazing, and the new double jointed stuff is really helping, but they come with way less stuff than normal Super 7. And that's, yeah, there is that. The price on these, if you order the set from Super 7, is 220, and you get the extra head back here. Plus, like I said, I was watching the Mad Hatter when he was talking about this stuff. I think he said, or he thought, he couldn't remember for sure, he thought the shipping was free. So you're basically looking at 220 plus whatever your state's tax is. And maybe he was off, but he said as he was looking at it, he ended up being around $240, which I think California tax is pretty crazy, but I'm not sure. But yeah, you're right. I mean, there is less stuff, but again, I think it's the double joints. I think they're really going to try and get us for that. And maybe there's a reason. I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe, I mean, I don't know the cost of this stuff. I don't know how much it actually costs to make. I don't know what we're talking about profit margin wise and all that. But yeah, I don't know. So basically, what I'm saying is I'll take a $25 figure and compare it to a $25 figure and decide, yeah, this one seems to be way better than this one. And then decide, I feel like I'm getting more for my money with this one than this one. But nobody else is doing $55 figures. So standard $55 Super 7 price. Interesting considering they have barely any accessories. Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we're going to get hit because they're doing the double joints, which is kind of crazy because what is it? How many parts usually go in an arm? I know that with double joints, what you're going to get is you've got the band kind of going around the elbow, and you've got the plastic piece that has to be fit into the upper and lower arm. So I feel like that's not adding, it's definitely not adding much when it comes to the actual tooling, but I'm wondering if it's really adding that much where we get a lot fewer accessories because of the assembly that happens at the factory. I do know that the Chinese, and this is not, I never want to make it sound like I'm sticking up for any of these companies. I am sure they could afford to have a little less profit margin. But one of the things that is going on is the manufacturing cost in China is going up. Now, I say that I don't know if Super 7 produces in China or somewhere else, just not sure. But I do know that pricing, yeah, the factory, your average factory worker is making more money. I know that paint costs a lot more these days, but that's something else on these guys. They don't look like they have a whole lot of paint, do they? Let me head back and check that out a little more. Yeah, like the heads have a lot of paint, but everything here looks like it's pretty much molded plastic. Maybe there's some paint on the armbands, like on the wrist guards, and a little bit of paint on the weapons. And I know it seems Super 7 has seemed to be pretty pricey for a lot of people anyway. I just don't know enough about cost to say anything objectively about it. See, it's finally catching up to $25 Hasbro articulation. You know what needs to happen now? Hasbro articulation needs to catch up to Hasbro articulation. Basically, Marvel Legends needs to get those ball peg waists. And now we're talking. Now I'll be stoked. Jericho, what's up, fellas? What's going on, Jericho? Thanks for stopping by. What are you thinking of these things? This is where all my curiosity was today, is looking at these and just wondering, what do I do? What do I do? I'm just curious. Just, I suppose the word could be vacillating. Fence sitting, perhaps. However, I know that getting these would be good for the channel, and I like turtles. Insert GIF here, or meme, or just the video clip. But yeah, so I don't know. I don't know. I'm really stuck. I know that the last time I was looking up a Super 7 figure, the Wingnut and Screw Loose had been released, and universally people say that's a great figure. So maybe their QC's coming around. I just don't know. And I don't know anything about the latest waves because I just haven't cared because of the single elbows and the single knees and all that stuff. So if anybody watching knows about the QC that's happened with recent Super 7 stuff, go ahead and chime in and let me know. Let me know if that's starting to get a little better, because that would make me feel a little better about my potential decision. Well, I will make a decision here, but about my potentially getting these things. That raft does look good. But I mean, come on, guys. Everybody knows that Mikey is the best turtle. Yeah, it's all about the Meister. I wonder how these scale and if they plan to keep going down the 2003 rabbit hole. It's off to see them, let's see, off to see them open up with all four bros. Losing the Simpsons must have knocked something loose over there. Yeah, yeah. I would say that did a little something. Plus, they've got the huge investment. I think it's a. I thought I read something like $25 or $25. That's not a huge investment. $25 million investment into the line, but I've also heard 30 million. I don't know what the actual number is. I haven't really gone out and done all that much research. But when somebody's pumping that kind of money into a company, they're going to start having some pull. So maybe they said, wait, we lost the Simpsons, this really old brand that a lot of people love. We lost that. And then they stepped in and said, okay, here's what's up. Here's what we're doing now. But yeah, this is something that makes me, I'm pretty excited. I want to see if they just start making double knees and elbows standard. See, yep, 2023 rabbit hole. No worries. No, or 2003. Now you got me saying it. 2003 rabbit hole. I'm not sure I need the rabbit hole here, only because, like I say, for me, I don't tend to get the animated stuff. So I think I'd be okay with these turtles. It's like they're the first Super 7 things with double articulation, or, double knees, double elbows. So I feel like I should get them, but, Donatello kind of looks like Slash. Ooh, I haven't I haven't noticed. We'll go back and check out Donnie in a minute. Look, NECA, two spinning chucks. It's possible. This is true. Yeah, that was one thing. I'm looking over here. I've got to my left my Mirage Turtles, and it hurts me that Mikey doesn't have better nunchucks than the ones he's got. I like them. Don't get me wrong. Gotta head back and see Donnie here. Oh, that head is definitely a Slash head. I didn't even notice, but you're right. I do like how colorful the shots are. I do think they did well there. Mr. Matson, the Newcastle network invested 25 million into Super 7. Okay, I didn't know who it was, and I was thinking it was 25, but I thought I'd also heard 30, so I wasn't sure. So thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Do you know anything about the Newcastle network? Have they invested in other stuff, or I'm not sure. I assume if you're going to throw $25 million at a toy company, chances are you have invested in other stuff. I just don't know. Get this up here a little bit more. Spider curls. I hope they don't scale them to be 7 inches because it would be weird to the TMNT dwarfing Mafex Batman on the shelves. Yeah, my gut is that, and I don't have any of Super7's turtle stuff, but my gut is these would be about the same height as the turtles that Super7's already made. Those are, what are those? I think those are about 6 inches, and I know the Mafex Batman is just a little taller than that. So hopefully it wouldn't be too bad. They do look fancy, though. They have a premium look to them, more so than the Playmates versions. Well, never mind. The Playmates versions are probably, what, 10 bucks? They'd better look a little more premium. Let's see. The double joints look well engineered. They're not messing around with these. That's what I'm saying. Like, my only question is the QC. If they came out and said, "Hey, man, we're really working on our QC and all that stuff," I would say, "Yeah, I'm in." Also, Spider Curls, thank you for showing up. I think this is the first time I've seen your name in the chat. I appreciate it. Also, guys, we've gotten a lot of new subscribers recently, so if you're new to the channel, thanks for checking it out. And if you're old to the channel, as some of you guys are, but not quite as old as me to the channel, maybe, thanks a ton. I mean, we blew by, we got past 1,500 subs last night, and I was pretty excited to wake up and see that. Toypixx is moving on up. Mario, that's a great call on Donatello. That is definite slash head. Spaded one. Wonder what these look like next to the SHF Toon Turtles from years back. I wish I'd gotten those. SHF is usually, they run smaller than most lines. So my guess would be they at least scale. I mean, they're going to be bigger than the SHF stuff, but I couldn't tell you how much bigger, only because I've never seen a review of the SHF Turtles. So yeah, this is me not paying much attention. You know what okay, I can't believe I'm about to say this. I would love it if Super7, after these, were able to go back and revisit some of their earlier Playmate stuff that they did. And if that's probably what you were talking about, isn't it, Spaded One? Me not thinking at all. You were saying that these look more premium than Super7's Playmate stuff, weren't you? Oh, I need to get brighter. Maybe faster. I don't know. But yeah, I'd like to see them go back and add some double knees and elbows and fix the hips on those Playmates turtles, because I would love to pick those up. Every time I saw a review on them, they said loose hips, and I just didn't want to spend that kind of money for loose hips. Super FNAF Gavin Studios. Holy pizza. Those look good. They do look good. And thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Yeah, this is my problem, guys. This is where I'm stuck. What's the line from Big Lebowski? These are, let's see, I can't remember. Dang it. I stink at all these things. Sorry, I'm late. Thursday is movie TV night. I think we can forgive you, John. No worries. I appreciate you stopping by. What are you guys watching again? I can't remember. You told me way back when. It sounded like it was pretty cool. And of course, me and my time, I haven't done anything. Let's see, these might be good enough for me to try more Super7. That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying. I just want to know if the quality is picking up. And like I said earlier, I know the wing nut and screw loose, everybody says that's great. What is Leo going to have the crack show like he does? Is Leo going to have the crack show like he does in the show? I have no idea. Let me head back to... I know nothing. It has been a while since I've seen that. Let's see. That crack in the shell, like in the show. Got it. I don't know. And we can't tell from the pictures that Super7's given us so far. I don't think. Let's see. No, can't really tell here. We're currently watching the Continental. We previously watched Fallout and then Ninja versus Shark. I think you were talking about Fallout the last time you talked about it. The Continental, isn't that that's John Wick style, right? That's definitely something I might need to check out. You guys see there's a Batman series coming out on Amazon. I thought that was pretty cool. Siri just thought I said Siri, and now I said Siri twice. Double joints isn't enough for me to spend money on Super7. Every figure I bought from them has been super disappointing. That's not what I want to hear. Jericho, how long ago, like, are they older figures? Are they newer figures? I'm just trying to gauge factory style, you know? Okay, if Super7 makes the 2012 Turtles, I might buy. I mean, I'm only like 15, so that's okay, man. Don't worry about it. They might, that's a trick. That's a trick. Hey, man, that's a trick for anybody to really pony up 220 bucks plus tax when they're looking at these, not sure if the quality's good, you know? So I get it. John Wick style, kind of prequel. It's meh so far. Oh, that's not what I want to hear. But at least you're watching it, so I don't have to. Just that's pretty much why I'm watching The Acolyte at this point, so nobody else has to. See, that crouching Leo pose is nice. It is. It is. And check out how low Mike is, too. And he's still on his feet. Like, it does look like they're going to get some decent range. You just can't tell. Like, I wish I could see where Leo's right leg is there. I wish I had the angle so I could see how much of that is in front of him or how much it's kicked out to the side. And is the plastic shell, like the yellow part on the front, is that a more pliable piece or is that hard plastic? That's what I'd like to know. There's too many questions. I have all the questions in the world to try and figure this out. And no time. Like nobody's going to answer those questions. Although I think Kyle is going to be on. He's one of the. I think he might be the head guy for Turtles. I'm not sure. He's going to be on Geek Dad Life, and I might check that out to see what he says about this stuff. Hopefully, he's got a prototype or something so we can learn sort of what's going on with the construction of these guys. See if I can find a better. I was trying to figure out what was going on with their heads, and I didn't look hard enough to really. Okay, that's just that. You really can't tell much about the head there. No, as far as articulation, there we go. All right, there's something where we see. Looks like the head can come down a bit. Definitely get some turn on it. Thank you, Raph. Thank you for providing photo evidence. How is The Acolyte? I haven't watched it yet. Is it good? Oh, I want to like it. How about that? No, I don't think it is good. And forget all the stuff about, I've heard a lot of people say it breaks canon, it breaks lore, all that stuff. Even forgetting all that, the writing is really bad. Like the writing's bad. I think the direction's bad. The set design's bad. Like as I'm watching all this stuff, I'm going, oh, this is like it's all bad. There are a couple actors that are decent standouts, but overall, like to give my most objective review possible, which is going to sound way harsh. Don't worry, it is way harsh, but I think I stand by it. The first part is I'm totally cool with you calling it The Acolyte, just don't call it Star Wars. And the second part is anybody who was involved in the creative decisions made on that show needs to be fired from Star Wars, fired from Hollywood, and never be allowed to have their names in print. I don't want to see their names show up in magazines. I don't want to see them on blogs. I want to forget that they're around. Let them do other things that have nothing to do with media, and awesome. That way we don't hear about them and life is good. But anyone who had anything to do with the creative decisions on that show needs to go away. They just need to go away. And that is my objective review of The Acolyte. One day, someone's going to figure out a soft front shell and butterfly joints on a turtle, and it's going to be glorious. Oh man, you know what they could do? Like a soft shell, like a really soft shell, like Jada style, what they made Ryu's, what, good Lord, his gi, what they made that out of. Go really soft plastic like that, put that on the front shell, then you can put in a butterfly joint and game on. And you can get a lot of leg articulation going too. And it probably doesn't even need to be that flimsy. It can probably be a little less. Ooh, we just solved the world's problem, Spaded One. See, I have their Thundercats and Silverhawks lines. I also have their Robin Hood. The playability on all of them is very lackluster. Now, here's the curious part there. Is it because they're single jointed or because of just weird decisions made in the design? Because right now, like, there's nothing they've made up till seeing these that I've really been tempted to pick up, because to me they look like there's not a lot of playability with them. It looks like they might as well be statues to me. No, the Acolyte is literally the worst thing they've ever done. It is 1000% the worst thing they've ever done. Canon. Canon doesn't matter. Andor breaks canon. Pretty much every movie or series breaks canon. I do agree to some degree with that, for sure. Like, obviously, everybody does seem to break canon. Nobody goes back and understands everything that came before. So I can get some minor canon breaks. And like I said, what I was saying there, you don't even have to throw in the idea of the lore into it. Like, forget all the arguments about the lore, because to be honest, some of the lore questions haven't been fully explored. They haven't been fully answered. So we don't know to what extent lore has actually been broken, if it has at all. So I'm really not worried about that. I'm worried more about the actual creative work that went into this thing. It's just not good. Let's see. And I'm not sure about. No, I need to pay. Let's see. The Loyal Subjects has a Dark Leo from the IDW comics as their SDCC exclusive. I sent you the images. Dang it. I really got to start getting on IG more so I can pay attention to this stuff. I will totally check that out. Thank you, Mr. Madsen. I appreciate it. Oof, that Robin Hood got lampooned when it came out. I saw a Nostalgia Unboxed review of it, and I about lost it. I was dying. And part of why I was laughing was because somebody else bought it, and I didn't have to. Because I thought it looked good, actually. It breaks what Andor himself said in Rogue One. He's not been in the rebellion since he was 12 years old. Also, he says that he's never been in a cage when captured in Rogue One. Oh, wow. I didn't even notice. I'll be honest, Andor was tough for me to get through just because it was so depressing. I know that it was great sci-fi. I know that it was a great show objectively, but it was just tough because of the content for me. Single joints, sloppy paint apps, loose joints, amongst many others. See, that's what I'm talking about when it comes to their first turtles, their Playmates turtles. Is all I heard about were the loose hips. People didn't really talk about bad paint, but Single joints, loose joints, that would be enough for me to be like, yeah, I'm definitely out. And the turtles, they are ninjas. They need, like, we've talked in the past about the DC multiverse dark side. Like, how much articulation does he really need? He looks really good. So I'm not sure he needs much articulation. Turtles, these guys are ninjas. So even though they've got their shells on, they need to be able to move. And yeah, the Playmates style stuff that Super7 did didn't do it. And what they had with the legs, they lost because of the loose hips. So those are the real questions I have about this stuff. See, but neither matters. They made a quality program, and that's what matters. Now, see, I do agree with that for the most part. Sometimes some of the canon stuff, like depending on how they finish out Acolyte, ooh, I could be annoyed, but it's not gonna make or break for me, you know? Let's see, I love that Robin Hood. He's cool, still has issues, but does what I want. Obi Nobi, there's dissension about Robin Hood. Robin Hood and Little John running through I shouldn't sing that. See, man, I'm not watching Acolyte because it looks more in line with the Obi-Wan show, and I'm saving myself for that old-timey Andor feeling. You know what? Just skip Acolyte, and your life's going to be better. So don't worry about it. And I'm a guy who sits there and really tries to be cool with everything. Like, I actually thought Ahsoka was okay. I know that it needed faster pacing, but I know how Filoni does things, and he would need a whole season of Clone Wars before things really got kicking. It just doesn't work in the format he's working in with Ahsoka. So if he can tighten that up, life will be much better. But yeah, like I even thought Ahsoka wasn't awful like a lot of people did, but the Acolyte it's bad. Like it's really bad. Who's your favorite voice actor from the Ninja Turtles shows? You know what? I didn't really learn when it came to who the voice actors were. I didn't really learn who any of them were. I guess right now I would say the guy that voiced Shredder in the 80s cartoon, only because, what's that, James Avery, right? Only because he's the name I can come up with. Who's your favorite one? Let's see, Rob Paulson or Corey Feldman? Oh, Rob Paulson. Corey Feldman was Donatello in the movies. Michael Ansisti was Michelangelo. That was fun. Or was he just the puppeteer or the guy in the suit? Who was Rob Paulson? I mean, Corey Feldman, I remember because he was the only one in the suit that anybody knew who he was. I agree with Matthew Matson. Definitely Paulson or Feldman. See, I think it's safe to say that I don't think anyone can solve the Star Wars timeline or canon for that matter, honestly. No, I think you're right. I think you're right. I'm starting to think maybe for me, Star Wars starts from an action figure standpoint, because I feel like I could say Star Wars starts when season or the movie for the Clone Wars started, not the George Lucas one, but the the animated series. I could say my Star Wars kind of starts with that movie, even though that movie was kind of rough, that led into the Clone Wars series, which was a great series, I thought, and then goes through to Rogue One, A New Hope, Empire, Jedi, and then goes through to season 2 of Mandalorian. And I think from an action figure standpoint, I can stay in that realm, depending on what all happens in the future. Like right now, I feel pretty good with that, but we'll see. As far as TMNT, I'm officially done collecting them. I have the NECA Toon and movie ones, and I have the Mez set. I can officially walk away from TMNT. That's a good feeling, isn't it? When you're like, okay, I've got this stuff complete. I'm out. Oh, I need that feeling. I might get that feeling with some of those SHF Star Wars figures once I start picking those up. Because it's not like they're making that many new ones, you know? I recently sold off all my TMNT stuff other than my Toon and movie stuff. There's just too much stuff to keep up with. these 2003 bros are calling me, but I'm fighting the urge. Yeah, that can be tough. Me, I'm like a comic book guy. Like I didn't get into the Archie comics so much, but I love the Mirage stuff. So I loaded up, well, not loaded up, but I have more of that than anything else. And I love the way that NECA constructed the last Ronin Raphael. I think he's great. So I'm kind of like, oh, do I really dip into this one? But yeah, I don't know. I don't know here. I mean, again, I know that I should get these just for the channel, but I'm just not the guy that spends a bunch of money for the channel for something that I might not enjoy when I get it, you know? Well, here's a little fun fact for you. Leo in the 2012 show is voiced by three simple voice actors. Three simple voice actors? Oh boy. Trying to think. 2012 was the one that was clearly like a CGI, computer generated, right? Because I saw some of that. I saw pretty much all of 2003, I think, but I didn't see that much. I think I got through maybe half of the first season in 2012. But it seemed like it was good. Like I saw where the Krang were popping out and all that stuff. It looked like it could be a pretty good show. I just didn't keep up with it. I meant to say actually voiced by three voice actors. My microphone screwed up. Oh, you're okay, man. Don't worry about it. All our microphones screw up. The whole voice to text and voice to type and all that stuff kind of gets jacked around quite a bit. I don't know. I'm cautiously optimistic on these. I mean, if they're, I know that some of the rumor was it looks like they're really going to try to step up the quality control when it comes to these guys, when it comes to just Super7 products in general. So maybe these would be okay. I don't. I'm stuck. I'm stuck, folks. I am stuck. They look incredible. Like they look fantastic. Even Donatello, who is objectively the worst turtle. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. There is no worst turtle. There is only the best turtle. Mr. Spencer, pretty sure I've only really seen the original cartoon, though I did watch all the movies recently. Oh, nice. All the movies? Like, did you have to go through when they were in Japan too? Like TMNT 3? And then did you watch the Michael Bay ones? Haha. And what was the one? They did a movie that was, I think it was supposed to be kind of a sequel to the 2003, but it was, or the 2003, I'm sorry, the third regular TMNT movie, but it was animated. Like it was CGI, I believe. And it was actually really good. It was, yeah, everybody was a little older. Raph and Leo got in a fight, like an actual fight where Raph beat up Leo and then the Foot ends up kidnapping Leo because of it. So yeah, there were consequences, man. And I thought for an animated flick, that was really good. And I shouldn't even say that. Animated stuff lately seems to be as good or better than live action. Mr. Spencer Leo. All right, Leo's all right. You said the best turtle, right? I did. You're looking at him. You can see him right in front of you. I always love doing that just to see who's going to go up and be like, no, you don't know anything. I just can't get over the lack of accessories. I don't need an unpainted weapon sprue like the OGs, but these are really lacking. Needs pizza slices and stuff. Man, I didn't think of that. I mean, you're right. So I do wonder about the costing. I mean, it's a question we'll never know the answer to unless we actually work on the balance sheets at Super7. But I mean, that was something that I noticed as well, is that it just didn't, these don't come with as much stuff as Super 7 usually comes with. But still, man, like, how are they going to articulate? Are they going to, I mean, looking at this picture of Mikey, it looks like these things, it looks like you're going to be able to have a lot of fun with these things when you're taking pictures of them. Oh, man. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. This is kind of tough for me because you're absolutely right. Like looking at what Mikey comes with, he's the one that comes with the most stuff. Hold on, let me go back. Let's get that picture up so it's very clear. So this is the one that comes with the most stuff for sure. And when you look at what he comes with, there are G.I. Joe figures that have come with more stuff than that for 25 bucks. Sergeant Slaughter's come with way more stuff than that for, what was he, 34 or something like that? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how the costing works at Super 7. Super 7 is the one company that it feels like are just totally outside of the price range it looks like it should be. But again, I don't know. I'm not on that end. It's just when it comes to all other companies, I don't know. I don't know what to say there. I don't know what to say without, if you're a Super 7 fan watching, going, oh, you don't know things. And if you're watching and you're a Super 7 fan or you're work there or whatever, you're right. I know nothing. So that's why I'm kind of keeping my mouth shut. But hey, I will say they look good. See, yes. Oh, nice. That actually doesn't sound that bad, honestly. I didn't hate the first Turtles movie. I didn't think the second one was that bad either, with Bebop and Rocksteady, talking about the Bay ones. Okay, I don't know if I'm salty about this, but let's see. Am I the only one that sings that 2012 show in the 2003 show? Should I have a crossover? Let's see. I don't know. Help me out there, Super. Let's see. Am I the only one that sings that 2012 show in the 2003 show? Should I have a crossover? Oh, so you're singing the theme from 2012 for 2003. So should you just combine them? Is that what you're saying? I mean, there's been movies, I think. John might be able to answer, but I think one of the movies had the turtles all crossing over, like from different universes, but that might have been one of the shows instead. Might have been 2003, actually. I don't know. But yeah, you can absolutely cross them over. Jericho, in terms of domestic lines, not much excitement other than classified. I'm so bored of Marvel Legends. Definitely excited for the Hiya Toys 112th line. The Hiya Toys like Rambo, right? Because, yeah, everything I've seen about that Rambo looks incredible. Now, as far as Legends, I mean, I'm pretty much with you, Jericho, to be honest, aside from kind of the smaller companies. Like, I'm excited about Valaverse. I'm excited about Animal Warriors of the Kingdom, even though I don't have any of them. I think they look great. I'm kind of excited about Spiro, or that is Spiro, about Savage Crucible. Like those kind of outlier lines that we're not seeing at Targets and Walmarts yet. I'm kind of excited about those. But as far as just going down the regular toy aisle, I am totally with you when it comes to just walking, seeing Legends, seeing Multiverse, seeing Transformers, seeing all this stuff. The only thing I really turn my head for is Classified. And when I'm in the collector's section, I'm always checking out NECA stuff too. NECA doesn't do so well on the channel. It makes me sad. Mr. Madsen, 2012 is my favorite TMNT animated storyline. Oh man, I might have to watch a little bit of 2012 again. I liked the start, like I said, I just didn't keep going. Okay, am I the only one? We missed out on an interesting crossover idea. What is the 2012 show in the 2000? Oh, what if they did a crossover? Got it. I mean, that'd be all right. That'd be completely different art styles, but that's half the fun, right? I don't know. Like I say, I know 20 or 2003 pretty well. I don't know 2012 as well. So checking that out, yeah, I mean, I'd take any crossovers when it comes to the turtles. I like it's just a fun property to do that kind of stuff with. Spaded one, like 2003 Playmates Raft came with shurikens and a friggin' zip line. Oh yeah, I think I had those. Now that you say that, huh? Oh, but did he have extra hands and heads and all that stuff? Huh? Huh? Turtle comms. Ron Paulson was on the 80s Turtles cartoon, the 2012, and so many more shows. I'll have to look that stuff up. I don't like, I remember a lot of voice actors from 80s shows, like G.I. Joe. Bill Ratner was Flint. He was really the important one to remember. And I remember a lot of the guys from Transformers. They did a 2012 crossover with the 90s cartoon Turtles. Oh, nice. All right. I'll definitely have to be checking some of this stuff out, won't I? Let's see. Yep, the 2012 Turtles did a crossover. Let's see, with the 87 Turtles. Huh. Don't 80s cartoon. Got it. Got it. Okay. Thanks for clearing that up, sir. Oh, wait. I'm pushing so many buttons at once. I'm not. I'm trying to hit. I hate typing on my phone. Dude, I hate typing on a keyboard. Anytime I'm on a laptop, it's a disaster. And I've been on a laptop a lot lately. I didn't mean the songs. I meant the shows. 23 or 2003 and 2012 have a crossover. That's why I meant. Dude, don't even worry about it, man. Yeah, yeah. I mean, mics can get tricky. My niece was over here showing me how to use a mic when it. She was the one that noticed because I do Mid Journey for a lot of my backgrounds on Patreon and all that stuff. By the way, you can become a free member of the Toypixx Patreon page and get a bunch of toy photography stuff. So I thought I should throw that out there since I was bringing it up. But she noticed the little microphone on the Midjourney program and started talking into it and making Midjourney do what she wanted it to do. She's 9, and I totally got schooled. These are kids just growing up with this stuff like you, and I felt silly. See, 2003 Playmates figs didn't have heads and hands, but it shows me these are divorced from the Playmates figs entirely. Yeah, maybe that. Oh, that's a good point because it seemed like they really were getting to a point where they weren't allowed to do the Playmate stuff anymore, didn't it? I forgot all about that. Okay, so we're seeing a little more in this stuff than we were thinking. That's a good call, sir. My one big issue with these, you have to order direct to get the third heads. No idea how long those would be available, so possibly have to buy without reviews. Oh, you're totally going to have to buy without reviews because this is, I think it's a 40-day window, so we've still got a while to pick them up. But yeah, I mean, if that's where I'm stuck too, John. I want to know what the quality is like, but there's no way I'm going to know what the quality is like until reviews come out. And we know Super7, that's a year and a half, 2 years out. So yeah, I mean we're stuck with that. It's why I didn't get the Dragonfly actually when I got the Hiss herb before. So the Dragonfly campaign ended before I got my Hiss tank. Had I gotten my Hiss tank before, I would have backed the Dragonfly for sure, no questions asked. But it's kind of that sort of thing. If somebody could talk to me about the quality of this thing, then I'd be really tempted to pick it up. But it's tough when you don't have any idea. 2003 is the best turtle show of all time. It's based off the Mirage comics. Yeah, I noticed, by the way, Kamala, thanks for showing up. I appreciate it. But Yeah, I did notice a lot of parallels when it came to Mirage when I was watching 2003. That's probably why I enjoyed it so much. Mirage is definitely near and dear. Okay, did you watch the Batman versus the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie? Because I heard that was good. I did watch that, and it was a fun movie. I did enjoy that. So, yeah, if you get an opportunity to check that out, definitely check that out. It was a fun flick. And it was kind of just goofy, like Turtles and Batman should be. Let's see, shakes fist in the air. We're all angry now. Get off my lawn style. Yeah, that's where I'm at, man. I mean, I'm at the exact same place as you, where I'm sitting here going, I I just don't know. Hopefully, what'll happen, like I said earlier, Kyle is supposed to be on Geek Dad Life this Sunday, and if he is, hopefully he'll have some way of addressing a lot of these questions. I know that these are still quite a ways out, so I don't know if he'll have a prototype on hand or even be able to talk to the plastic quality that they're going to be. I have no idea. So hopefully that'll clear some things up. I know I'm going to be watching that one just to find out what's up with that. But I keep looking at these images, trying to figure out whatever I can figure out, trying to see if maybe the shell's bending a little bit by where the hip is, to see if I could tell that it was a softer plastic. I do. I have to say, John, if you're on the fence, I love that Michelangelo head. Like, not just because Mikey's my favorite turtle, but there's a ton of character in that head. So if either of us decide to go for this, then Super 7's probably where we should order it from, based on Mikey's head. And I do love how angry Raph stuff is. I have to say, I think their best photo is this one. Just the way the colors work out for it. I'm going to leave it here for a bit. What if the Turtles did a crossover with Spider-Man? Somebody brought that up. I can't remember. I'm sure I was listening to a live stream or something, and somebody brought up that the Turtles have never done a Marvel crossover. They need to do that specifically with Daredevil. But when that Mayfix Daredevil comes out, I'll make him do it. Super 7 80s line is based off the toy, which looks nothing like the tune. This is true. 2003 toy lines still look like the tune, other than Shredder, who they made blue rather than gray. You know what? I remember that because I was picking up a bunch of the 2003 stuff now that somebody else brought them up way back. And I remember the card back on those things. And I remember, yeah, I picked up quite a few of those because the Shredder, didn't they later on do a Shredder that was gray, but he wasn't at all shiny? Or am I totally misremembering that? Because I think I did have that blue Shredder you're talking about that had a little bit of shine to the blue, but it wasn't like it was glossy or chromy or anything like that. John, oh yeah, the heads are great. Yep, I agree. I think they look good. There was some care that went into the sculpts on these things. That's why I'm really hoping the QC doesn't suck. What if the Turtles did a crossover? Oh wait, saw that. I mean, they'd all be floating through the air pretty much, just jumping from building to building. Okay, Super 7, I'm calling your bluff. Show me Shredder next. Oh, a 2003 Shredder. I'm sitting here saying, you know what? I don't really get into Toon action figures, but maybe I'll get these. And then you have to throw out a 2003 Shredder, complete with like an opening compartment because in the belly, maybe, oh man, yeah, a 2003 Shredder, if they did it like how we found out he really was later in the series. Who wouldn't get that, especially if they found a way to make it articulate? Like, that's something else. Are they going to have ball pegs at the waists of the human characters? These are things. These are the important questions to ask. Okay, I think the turtles' weapons being color coded is cool because of the 2003 show. Also, thanks to Rise of the TMNT, I think they also look good in black as well. Rise of the TMNT. Oh, that was the movie that just came out. What was it? A couple years ago on Netflix. That was, if that's like, I saw some of the series, but I couldn't get through the series. But I did enjoy the movie they made from that series. I thought that was really cool. Imagine making some of those and having some of those like magic style power effects. Having that old Mikey, because I think, yeah, it was Rise of the TMNT movie where you've got the old Mikey doing the magic and he just kind of disintegrates. Oh, that old Mikey would be awesome. Except he's awfully skinny in that. I wonder, I'd be thrown. We might not need a NECA version of 2003 Turtles. These look perfect. Yeah, they do look really good. And that's something I brought up earlier. I'm excited to see now that Super 7's starting to add articulation. And now that Best Action is in the game, really trying to work on the articulation. I'm excited to see what NECA decides to do to step up their game. Because really, all they're missing is a little better articulation. And if they start making that happen, ooh, it's going to be a fun turtle race. I mean, it's going to be slow because it's turtles, but still. Sorry that I had to see what does Turtles do crossover. You're good, man. Don't even worry about it, Gavin Studios. That happens all the time. Mr. Spencer. Honestly, with all the figs, comics, movies, and even the RPG remake, it's a great time to be a Turtles fan. What RPG remake? Or yeah, I don't think I ever played a Turtles RPG, but you're not wrong. Like this is a very good time to be a Turtles fan, and everybody wants to catch in on just how much they're doing with it lately. Okay, if Super 7 makes a shredder, what if like the chest opened up to reveal a little Cheryl? That would be cool. Well, yeah, yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at is if Super 7 did that and somehow made it so he could still articulate really well, that would be awesome. Like I would be very tempted to go in on that. I'm guessing Shredder will have Alien Brain Shrell as an accessory, and maybe the ab area slides open with a built-in Shrell inside. That could happen. I'm wondering if maybe they wouldn't do that yet. If maybe they'd be like, okay, let's just make a standard Shredder, see how he does, and then later down in the line, maybe the Shredder like you're talking about, because they have to do that Shredder, something similar anyway, right? Maybe that shredder gets released at a deluxe price point. But considering how little these guys come with, which is definitely a fair point that Spaded One brought up, I'm wondering if Shredder could come with all that stuff if he didn't come out at a deluxe price point. But yeah, that would be a great accessory. The ab area slides open with a built-in Trell inside. That would be so cool. You know how big Shredder would have to be? I mean, only based on, I mean, they could make a small one. They could make one more like NECA sized, how they're making them. Ooh, that Shredder would be super cool. I'm thinking too hard. I'm going to go to bed tonight and go, wonder how Super 7's going to do Shredder. Batman TMNT was great in my opinion. Yep, I dug it. It also followed the comic fairly well also. I didn't know they did a Batman TMNT comic. Doesn't surprise me. I just didn't know they did it. I thought it was just the movie. They did two different ones, Batman the Animated Series with TMNT and Batman X TMNT 1 and 2. Oh man, the animated series they did. See, I don't know about the other, but these are things to definitely check out. I love the idea of it because Batman's this super serious dude, and the Turtles, once you throw Michelangelo into the mix, at least far less so. See, tabletop RPG from Palladium Games originally came out in the 80s. Did a Kickstarter last year for the remake. Okay, okay. That's so cool that a lot of this stuff is coming back. Like the GI Joe crowd or Kickstarter that's going insane. I knew GI Joe would be popular. I felt that it would get funded. I didn't know it would get like 50x funded. That's insane. Super7 forgot to give Donatello a bow staff spinning effect. I'm going to assume you meant spinning effect. And you're right. That would have been pretty sweet. That might be something later on down the line. There's also a board game based off the IDW comics for TMNT, and they use the same rules for Batman the Animated Series, so you can cross them over yourself. That's cool. And I'm wondering if they did that on purpose. Like, it probably wasn't even like that. It was probably, all right, let's just throw the same set of rules at this game and be done with it, so we don't have to come up with a bunch more rules. And it just so happens they use the rules from Batman the Animated Series. This is how people think, I've decided. That's how I think sometimes. See, sucker for the IDW turtle designs. Yep. I love the IDW. The IDW comics are insanely good. I'm wondering what they're going to do for the spin-off or for like the new series they're going to do. How about this? Did you read the Power Rangers TMNT crossover comics? I did not. There was no, I got to a point where I wasn't reading much comics and I was never a big Power Rangers guy. So that probably wouldn't have interested me. If that were something that came out on TV or in a movie, I'd probably watch it. See, they totally did it on purpose. All right, all right. I'll buy it. Oh boy. All right. So yeah, that's the Turtles gang. I still haven't answered my own question as to do I do this or no. But I love the look. And if they come out in their quality and I missed out on them, I'm going to be annoyed with myself. I'm just going to leave it on Mikey. When I mean Krill built inside Shredder, when his abs open, he's not meant to come out, so he doesn't have to be big. It's like a gimmick. That's why Krill. Okay, okay. I got you. I got you. That makes sense. I wonder how they do. It's been a while. Is he right in the ab area? Like, could they do a diaphragm joint for Shredder? And maybe, God, man, with that much tooling in the ab section, I don't know that they could do a ball peg, and that would annoy me. Like, I'm wondering if they could somehow make a ball peg work with that, that would be sweet. But I don't know. Huh. I mean, Shredder would be a big character anyway, so maybe they could. Maybe they'd have the room to make that happen. All right, folks, what do we have here? 8:13. Tell you what, I'll stick around till 8:20. Chat whatever we got. What's anybody trying to work on? What's anybody collecting right now? Anybody really excited about something they picked up recently? Let's hear it. Ah. I'm still looking at these, just going, what do I do? What do I do? Yes. I had some good news today, or potential good news, so it wouldn't be a big pain in the butt to get these. It would still just annoy me though, like I said, if they showed up and the QC wasn't great. I don't care if I spent $5 on them and the QC wasn't great, I'd be annoyed. That is honestly my only question here with these guys. Everything I got recently was cheap on Amazon. Short Round was surprisingly good. Really? That's cool to hear. I wish that Dial of Destiny, first off, just scrap the Dial of Destiny idea. I wish Short Round had been an Indy 5. I think that would have made for just a fun flick. Yeah. It sounds like he could have been too. Or like one of the scripts that was written for Indy 5, it was written so he could have been, and they just didn't do that, which makes me sad. I'm trying to think. I don't think I saw any reviews on Short Round, so I don't even know how his joints worked or anything like that. And yeah, I've been looking at Amazon with some cheap stuff. I got, like I said, my niece, she had a birthday recently, and so I found some stuff for her on Amazon. She's going to be up here this weekend, so I'll be able to have some fun with her with some of that stuff. Well, it's been fun watching this. Have a good night, everybody. You too, Gavin Studios. Thank you for stopping by. You are welcome anytime. Remember, folks, we live stream every Monday and Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And when I have time, I've been playing with the idea of doing some live streaming on Sundays as well. I was doing 11 a.m. I might move it a little later into the day. So we'll see what happens with all that. But yeah, what did I get recently that was crazy? Not really anything. I haven't really gotten a lot this year. I need to step that up. Okay, I'm an artist, and I've got to say the animation for the Rise movie was peak animation. Like this movie was made in the US. I find that hard to believe. You know what? It was phenomenal animation, and I don't know much about animation. I just know how good and how bad things look when they move. And man, you're not kidding. It looked really good. Like I thought that movie, like I said, I couldn't handle the series. It was just too silly. But I'm older than you. You might have watched it, and you might have been the perfect age for that series. For me, I was just like, I can't do it. This feels like TMNT jumped the shark. And then I watched the movie, and I'm like, okay, if the whole series had been this quality, I would have watched the whole thing. Like that movie is really good. I hated the animation in the Rise movie. No, man, no, I thought it was pretty good. The art style was a little weird, but the animation, they seemed to move really well, I thought. Let's see, it gives me a headache. That was probably more the colors and all the flashing, everything, which would be animation, so never mind, you win. ah, I was surprised that he had actual cloth jacket and a separate indie hat, a tiny bit small, but will fit on some hands or some heads. An actual cloth jacket. I didn't know that. He looked cool. I wish I wanted to get into that movie a little more, or get into that line, but then I saw the movie and the line didn't have the doubles. I still want to get the SHF Indie. I definitely want to pick that up. Let's see. It'll be okay, Gavin. We're all cool with the opinions that we've all got on here. It's all kosher. What do we have? Yeah, I don't think I got my niece some of those 30 Minutes Sisters. I got her one of those model kits. And then I got her a 30 Minutes Missions model kit because you can swap around parts on them. And I thought that would be kind of fun for her. She really likes those, which is insane. It's awesome, though, for me. I need a dozen short rounds to make my Chinese sweatshop photos. That boy ain't right. Oh, I'm sitting there saying you're not right, and I'm laughing. So I'm guessing neither of us are what most would call correct or right even. Anyway, all right, let's see here. Funny enough, when I was little and the 2012 show ended, I actually hated Rise because it was a reboot. But looking back on it, it was actually pretty good. Ben Schwartz, the voice of Leonardo. Okay, and he was the same voice in the movie as well, right? Like in the Rise movie? Ah, we'll have to get that answered next time. It is time. So, as always, everybody, thanks a ton for coming in to check out the live stream. It's a blast chatting with everybody. And the fact that you spent some of your Thursday night to hang out, I really do appreciate it. So, until next time, have fun. Happy snapping. See ya.